introduction, I like stories. I always say story, story, story. So there's this story, it's a popular story. I'm sure you've heard this story before. And the story is about um a man who just sits there, and the man has two dogs. And one dog looks very skinny and frail and scary. And then the other one just looked poofy, goofy, and calm. And they're always like kind of fighting each other here and there. So people will pass and say, oh, these dogs are enemies, they're enemies. So passing one uh passerby now asked the owner and said, if they do they ever fight, and if they were to fight, which one wins? And the man looked at the boy and said, um wait, no, the man looked at the boy, and then the man was eating. The man just gave through the food, the last piece of food that he was eating, to one of the dogs. And that dog picked the food, ate it, wagged his tail, was so happy. And then the other one that didn't get anything just went down and instantly depressed and just sat there. And then the old man told the boy that the one that I feed is the one that wins. Okay, I'm not sure if I say that story very well, but it's a story that I live with. I'm even yet to go and find out, where's the origin of the story? Is it a true story? What happened? But when you have two dogs in a fight, the dog that wins, even if they're identical twin, even if one is bigger than the other one and the other one is smaller, the one that wins the fight is the one that you feed. So when we are going through this lecture, I want you to be asking yourself, which dog am I feeding? Which dog am I feeding? Am I feeding like my full investment lifelong? Is it on the preventive dog or the cure dog? Whatever. I just want you to have that in your mind. But because till tomorrow, whatever you feed will grow. So have that in mind. Now, back to the introduction. Um, Many people think about health as something when something goes wrong. That is almost everybody in my country. And why I say in my country is because I'm very close to my country people in Nigeria. And I realize that if it's not going to scatter or it's not going to burst the next day, they don't get to the hospital. I'm not talking about people on this platform, because for you to invest your 1 hour instead of watching network news, you in fact you are exempted. But around this country, this is what I mostly observe. We rush to the hospital when pain becomes unbearable. We change our diet only after a diagnosis. So no matter how skinny you look, assuming you're the skinny, the slim type, you won't eat healthier unless you're told that you're skinny with very high cholesterol. Then you'll pay attention. That's what I mean. We rest only when our body has fully shut down. Okay. But the big question is, what if we invest in our health before the illness shows up? Okay, it's just a question. I like this slide. I like this slide. And please, if you're doing a screenshot or whatever, paste it somewhere, because it's really shocking. And this is what drives me, and this is what drives my career. This is why I'm here. Look at this and don't ever forget this. Please share it with any doctor, share it with anybody that you want to share. It says, while 75% of healthcare costs are attributed to preventable conditions, what that means, 75% of every money that has been spent on health, they are attributed to preventable conditions. Look at this. Only 3% of healthcare spending is for prevention.
We are not
Okay.
seeing your slide though.
Uh-oh, it has gone off again.
We have to
Okay,
reply.
okay. Let me do it again. Okay, I think you should be seeing now. Thank you so much for uh letting me know that. Okay. Okay. I think you're seeing the slides now. So it says that while 75% of healthcare cost. So what do I want you to understand? 7.5 out of 10 things, okay, out of 10, 7.5 or 75% of healthcare costs, whatever is paid towards healthcare is actually attributed to preventable conditions. It means that it could have been prevented. Now, why is the government doing this? Why are we doing this? Only about 3% of healthcare spending is for prevention. So I don't understand that. I don't understand that. So if we, government, people know that 75% of healthcare costs could be saved if we did more spending on prevention, okay, then I don't know why it is done upside down, but it's the world we live in. So just look at this slide and we are going to get there. So the question is, what is the cost of health? What's the cost of health? Shay, that's why we are here. Health cost goes beyond hospital bills. So for those of you who really came to this presentation to know what is Dr. Susan talking about when she says the true cost of health, it goes beyond your hospital bills. Because even if I met anybody today, if I say healthcare costs, in their head, they're thinking of what they call direct medical cost. Okay, so healthcare cost goes beyond hospital bills. Okay, they include emotional cost. When someone is sick and down, healthcare cost includes emotional cost, includes the financial cost, includes the physical cost, includes social and family cost, include productivity and income loss. You lose your job. All these ones are healthcare costs. So what is the cost of health? You can't remove this one when you're counting 500,000 to say, okay, I'm paying for admission. That 500, in fact, it's not even paying, it's that deposit for admission. That is just one of the costs. You yourself, you will not go to work. The person has lost the job, maybe even dies, etc. So health cost is a very huge topic. So why I'm sounding like this is that I'm trying to shrink it so that you get it, in a little bit, like get it as much as you can. Because when I did the master's in health management, this was not a one slide presentation, but I'll do my best to leave you with a little bit so that you can now make better choices to ensure that you don't allow yourself to run into a cost that you may not even be aware of. So, the WHO reports that NCD, non-communicable disease, accounts for over 70% of global death and consumes the largest portion of healthcare spending worldwide. So what is non-communicable disease, which is taking 70%? So whatever money government, people, everybody is spending on healthcare is going towards NCD. NCD means, sorry, non-communicable disease. I'm talking about your diabetes. Cancer is so expensive. One dose or one round of chemotherapy, it can go from 1 million to 2 million to 300. I don't even think 300,000 is going to work anymore. Okay, so hypertension, diabetes, obesity, cancers, and the like. These are the non-communicable disease. And this slide is saying, this is from World Health Organization. You can actually check their website. It says 70% of death is from that place. Now, we are talking about healthcare cost. There's something called direct medical cost. What is that? Anytime you go to the hospital, you pay doctor's consultation. It's a direct medical cost. Laboratory investigation, imaging, such as scan. In fact, some of our clients, when they come by, because it's very expensive, it means that you've done something serious about your health. But whatever. There it's I wish everybody can live without any of this. So it's not something to be too, yes, for screening purposes, but not that when you have a stroke or a cancer, you have to go through it. That's where I don't like this type of bragging right, actually. Now, medications, hospital admission, surgery. This is called direct medical cost. So when somebody's talking about healthcare costs, 99% of them, this is what they're thinking. Healthcare is very expensive. That doctor physic, that's too expensive. Oh, a national hospital, try Duchess Hospital or try this one. They're very expensive. They're only talking about direct medical cost. Okay. Now, it says chronic disease such as hypertension, kidney disease, dialysis, all of this require lifelong treatment, making cost cumulative and often overwhelming. So this is why it looks very expensive. Now, there's something called indirect cost. So that was the direct medical cost, which is what we think of. I'm sending my family to a big hospital. What do they call it? For annuals. So, like, for example, some people, they work and insurance pays for their own healthcare check, like their labs, and then also pays for the wife and the family. And they're very, very happy. And it's okay, it's very good. So we should do that, but we should know that that is direct medical cost. Now, indirect medical cost, assuming we don't do what I'm going to ask everybody to do towards the end of the presentation, we also encounter this indirect costs. These are often overlooked, but very, very significant. Loss of productivity. Before, you can get up on time and go to work. Now, you cannot go to work again. You send people to go to work, they will never do it the same way you used to do. Absence from work, early retirement, reduced income, dependence on family members. I know someone I so much looked up to. In fact, I was discussing with the person that she should write a book, that her life is something to mimic, role model. And I don't know how she did it. Somehow, I don't know what really went wrong. She had a stroke. And the last time I saw her, because she now got a little heavy. So a female caregiver, I mean, in her hot days, you can't even look at her in the eye. You can't go near her. But they had to get a male caregiver. So they're trying to move her from a chair to a wheelchair, and she almost fell. So the caregiver just had to put his hand under and grabbed her bum, like dragged her. I don't like to use vulgar word, just like dragged it very quickly to place it on the wheelchair. And I just had tears in my eyes, like, oh my God, this is the indirect cost that I am talking about. I'm not talking about the cost of that extra caregiver, the wheelchair, the endless physiotherapy that never ends, the fact that she cannot work again, the fact that she's a burden to her family. These are all indirect costs. I want you to know that this is still part of healthcare cost. Now, it says, according to World Economic Forum, chronic diseases are projected to cost the global economy $1 trillion annually due to productivity alone. So that dialysis and anything they want to be on or whatever is unfortunate. Now, I want to tell you that bad things to good people. So these conditions that I'm talking about here, it's not that you're saying that let's do this little that we can, that we know, on do our own part to make sure that we don't get there. I mean, God forbid, accidents happen, people are knocked off. How could you have prevented that? That's why it's called accident, not deliberate, right? It's not called deliberate, it's called accident. So things can happen. You can just wake up and from no reason, things happen. Definitely, you have to forgive and excuse yourself and know that you will heal and you're in the path of it. And then now deliberately don't do something to make condition. Those are the people that I'm actually talking about. Now, today I had a conversation with my dad, a lengthy conversation. I like talking to him because like he's almost 90, so it's like um it's it's really a rare privilege to age. They had me very late, and thank God I turned out okay. I'm not a problematic child to them and for them. So I have really deep conversations with my dad. And today I was just sharing with him that I want to have a wellness presentation and this and that. And I already put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure I pass the message to make sure that people don't get hurt or victimized for lack of knowledge. And then also I have, it's not pressure from God, but like I know that my boss is from up. So I think he's the one passing on this message to you. It's not me that is talking, even though it's coming from my mouth, because I pray a lot before I come on this platform. Then the third one is that I was just telling my dad today, and my dad is like, okay, I want to share what he said. He said, um, you should, whatever you're doing, do it even 10 times better, do it 100 times better. You need to really help these people. I said that I'm trying my best. He says, if when they were younger, if they knew that I have to present it to you, this was today, I have to present this message to you like this, that there's a bed of nail down the road, a bed of nails. If you step on a nail, it's going to poke you, it's going to cost you, it's going to injure you, it's going to cause pain, it's going to waste your time and every single thing. And then he says, there's a way he put it, I can't quote it. He says, present your things to them like you have to wear these slippers. Because if you can truly present that what is in front is a bed of nails, there's no way they will leave their house without their slippers. And I was like, wow, you know how old, sorry, yeah, he's old. I used to call him old man. You know how old people talk? That my dad is old. You are not talking about you. I said, Daddy, a bit of, like, who would think like that? And I was so grateful. I said, I'll share it today. He said, present it to them like that, so that way, because if he heard and he knew that this thing is as serious as stepping on a bed of nail, he will not leave his house without his slippers. So in those days when they were growing up, there was nothing like wellness or health talk. It was just by God's grace type of living. So that was that. So I am here to present this topic to you as, you know, take this cost of healthcare very, very seriously so that you can make better choices in terms of your resources. And when I say resources, I'm talking even time resource, because people say, oh, ah, Dr. Susan, I did not have time to come to the clinic. I am, or, oh, Dr. Susan, I did not have time to go for my exercise. Oh, Dr. Susan, you know what? I had to rush to work. I did not have time to eat. Oh, Dr. Susan, I did not have time to drink water because, no. If you know what waits in front, you will have time to drink that water. You will have time to sleep. You will have time to show up for your preventive health care if you know what waits. And yes, even as I'm saying that, today we also discussed with my dad about something called the special grace of God, that no matter what happens, for certain people, he has a divine protection, which we are asking him, please have mercy on us, because it's tough to do wellness and preventive medicine. So that's always my prayer on everybody, just even for coming up to this platform. So back to cost of health. So I have explained the direct costs, which is the medical costs, etc. The indirect costs, loss, productivity loss, leisure time loss, being a burden to family member. What about intangible costs? Intangible cause, that one nobody even mentions, like the pain that you have to endure, the waist pain, the knee pain, the headache, the migraine, the pain that just will not go away. Okay, and not only physical pain, emotional pain and suffering. There's a cost to that. Okay, so this is the cost of health. I just wanted to bring this slide to you. Like, whenever you hear someone say the cost of healthcare, unlike everybody that did not show up, you now know that the cost of healthcare is actually holistic, and it covers direct cost, the one we know, the hospital bills and stuff, the indirect cost, and also the intangible cost. So, going down, I've mentioned about social and emotional cost, the mental health, anxiety, depression, family dynamics, relationship, social participation is lost, quality of life is lost. A sick person does not suffer alone. You drag people in. We drag people in when we are sick. We really do. The family suffers with them. Even if it's not a direct family, loved one, someone goes the journey with you. Yes, I've actually been to a certain hospital, and there was a strike. So I saw someone over there. I said, why is it? I thought the hospital is on strike. He said, oh, that's an abandoned patient. I said, what? I had to walk over there and I asked, what does it take? And I can't say I'm the one that did anything for the person, but I just know that God sent me there that day. That patient was actually abandoned, because you know what? I'm sure the family is even tired. So, what is prevention? In the long run, we are still voting for prevention, even though the prevention involves that intentional action, even if it's a mindset action, even if it's a decision action, it involves that intentional action taken to reduce risk of disease before it occurs or worsen. One of the conversations I had with my dad again today is that he was saying that, for those of us that are too old, sorry, we always play around with old age with my dad. He said, for those of us that are too age, there's just little that we can do. So I want you to take it to the younger ones and make sure that the generations to come don't step on the nail. I was like, Daddy, that is what older people think. Nobody is too old to get started. Nobody. The truth is that it will take longer for an older person to build a muscle back up compared to a 20 or a 30-year-old. But you know what? It's better than doing nothing. So I think no matter what your age is, I beg you, don't give up. I've had clients come to the clinic and they use words like, after all, I am 70, I am 80, I am 90, I've done enough, I've seen enough. My answer is always consistent. Sama, you can eventually die, but we actually die longer than we live. People that died 300 years ago, they did not wake up till now. So you have enough time to die. So me, I'm not ready to lose you yet. So I want to ask if you have begun the journey of just maybe repairing your health, just trying on your own, and it doesn't look like it's working. I want to tell you that it's working. But if you're older, it just takes that much longer. And when it's taking longer, sometimes pain can come in between just to make you to give up and give in. So please don't do that. Don't quit before the miracle. So prevention includes, of course, as you know, healthy lifestyle choices, regular medical checkups, early detection, managing risk factors. So that is what prevention really is all about. Okay. And scientific evidence that prevention works, it actually works. CDC says that up to 80% of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes can actually be prevented through lifestyle. We've known that. We've known that. So what CDC has put into my head is that if you don't have a stroke yet, hypertension, diabetes, and all of these things, if you switch and start one kind lifestyle that is not so convenient, may not even be as cheap, that you can avoid these diseases and then save money. Okay, save costs. Remember now, when a doctor physic person is talking about healthcare cost, we're talking about the direct, indirect, and intangible cost. Regular physical activities reduce cardiovascular disease by almost 50%. And then somebody ask, how can we get rid of hypertension? Someone asked on the platform, how do we get rid of sugar? And somebody asked on the platform, how do we get rid of this? I want to give a small expo. If you currently are not underweight, it's a secret. If you're currently not underweight and you have either hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, knee pain, back pain, if you can find a way, any way, to reduce your weight by like only 5 to 10%, those things, most of them will disappear, if not reduce. Definitely your cholesterol will vanish, your blood sugar will get better. I'm not saying that it may not outrightly reverse a lifelong diabetes, but you have a better control. And if you're a pre-diabetic, it will definitely vanish. If you're just starting to have high blood pressure and you've not started your medication and you crash your weight, it will definitely vanish. This one is well documented. So early detection of cancer, for example, can increase survival rate by over 90%. But because of late detection of cancer in Nigeria, 90% die. Yes, 90%. And that's why everybody's so scared of having cancer. So cancer doesn't kill if you detect it early. Like I said, catch it before it catches you. So that is where we are with early detection. Okay. Um, if we want to compare cost, prevention versus treatment, okay, cost. Remember, we're talking about healthcare cost. What is the true cost of health? Okay, so that's why all these things are coming up. Prevention cost. You'll be spending money on routine medical checks, healthy food, exercise, stress management, going for massage, health education. That is where you'll be spending on. By the way, what we are doing here is called health education. And I did say that I have a master's in preventive and promotional medicine. So promotional medicine has everything to do with health education. So now, if you look at prevention cost, it says these costs are predictable, planned, and controllable. Now, let's look at the cost of treatment cost. Emergency hospital visits when it hurts, long-term medication, I call it lifelong medications, repeated laboratories, endless. surgeries upon surgery. We had a somebody, a client who had surgery once, had surgery again, had by the time the person was going for the fourth surgery, I was like, you know what, Oga, please, let's just try something else. So the person now canceled the surgery. And to God be the glory, we found a way to make his body heal properly. And there was, in fact, he was coming with a walking stick. Today he drives. For me, that's a big deal. And he's like one of the clients that gives us the highest referral. Like he brings everybody that and the surgeries were done abroad. So it's not about someone might be thinking, oh, these Nigerian hospitals. No, these were done. The first one was done in the US, second one was done in the UK, third one was in Dubai, the fourth one was in Dubai, the fifth one was gonna be in Dubai for one thing. And by God's grace, the person is okay. So it can get fancy, okay? So complications can show up. um Somebody had um ulcer and they went to correct the reflux. In the process, mistakenly they perforated something, and that's the end of it doesn't work again. So complications can come. So these are all under treatment cost. So these treatment costs are unplanned, escalating, and often catastrophic. So we need to pick which cost do you want to invest in? Do you want to wait to invest in treatment cost, or you want to go all out on preventive or prevention cost? Because this prevention cost, believe me, will save you a whole lot. Whenever you think of healthcare costs, the objective of this, my presentation, is that by the time you walk away, when you hear healthcare costs, I want you to hear all the three at the same time: the tangible, the intangible, and the direct medical cost, because that is the holistic healthcare cost. Now, why do people avoid prevention and end up on so much healthcare cost? They feel they have I feel fine mindset. The last person I know that had I feel fine mindset went to US with another person just to escort somebody to do medicals. He now decided to just check himself, and they found out that his kidney was almost, in fact, he was they had to remove him. Right now the person is walking around with one kidney. So forget about I feel fine mindset. Go and do your test. Go for your preventive. Fear of discovering illness. I'll tell you, a lot of people are so scared. I don't want to know. What I don't know does not kill you. I think what you don't know doesn't kill you. I think it only works in marriage, according to a very funny comedian. That what you don't know does not kill you works in marriage. When you don't check your wife's phone or your husband's phone or whatever, it's I think it's okay, or one of these comedians that says that. So in medicine, what you don't know slowly takes you out. So you need to know. So forget about it. And then someone said it best. Whether you know it that is there or not, it does not stop it from doing the damage that it is doing. So short-term thinking is also a problem. Cultural beliefs, financial misconception. Ironically, avoiding prevention often leads to higher expenses later. So that is that. So um I wanted to just bring this to you so that we started this year by defining insanity and saying that if we do what we've always done, this year just must be different for you at this year, the same way like last year. Like this year, I don't know where I'm gonna get the time, but I want to pick up a fun sport. I don't really have too much fun in my life. I don't have recreation in my head. It's not allowed. They say, oh, Dr. Susan, she has like 4 or 5 master's degree and a doctor degree and this and that. It's because I'm just like as you've seen me here, I sit in one place, I can study, I can read. Definitely last year I did 13 books in 1 year. It may not be a lot for some people on the platform, but that's my kind of person. So I'm like, no, I want to be having fun. What is fun? I've actually called somebody and I've paid for tennis, lawn tennis. So because I used to see like Serena Williams jumping all over the damn place, I think it will feel like fun. I think so. And then to also increase my exercise, but I'm not always. It should not be like you're frowning and lifting. It should be fun. If you enjoy walking, if you enjoy tennis, anything, but this year should be different. In the Dr. Physic clinic, there's something called service your engine. Do your service your engine every single month. In your house, there is something called water therapy. Be consistent with your morning water therapy. In your house, there's something called meal planning. You can't be a breakfast person today and be a dinner person tomorrow. Your body seeks consistency. If you're always eating breakfast, always eat breakfast. If you're not always eating breakfast, always skip it. But when you do your body like this, you end up with bloating, constipation, pile, and all kinds of GI issues. And because we've taught on this platform, that if you don't have a very healthy GI tract, that is between your mouth and your anus, you already messed up like 70% of your immune system. Now, if you don't have 70, if your 70% of your immune system is already compromised, why won't cancer find a way to grow? How can you even heal anything? So it is very, very important that this year, whatever it takes, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's anything, we have to pick up this health as if we don't wear our slippers, according to my dad, you're gonna step on a nail. And I reject any nail for everybody on this platform, even for just coming to this. That grace of God will protect you. But I beg that we should try our best. So, how are we trying our best? It's really funny that almost everything we teach on this platform, when we get to the end, this Dr. Physic formula thing works. It means from now on, you will rest like medicine. You rest because your cells, your tissue need to heal and repair. Because if your cells and tissues are repaired, your organs will be okay and your whole system will be okay. So you will take your rest medicinally, you will take your water medicinally. You don't drink, you look at your urine, if it's yellow and smelly, it's a problem. So if you're so busy, if somebody said, hey, Dr. Susan, because of my work, we don't even have toilet. Okay, fine. Why don't you take a weekend that you're home to be drinking enough water and flushing your system? Because if your body is so acidic, it's prone to everything. It's prone to everything. It's prone to inflammation. It's prone to, I don't want to be mentioning these names. Everything that we're avoiding. There's a book called You're Not Sick, You're Dehydrated. You will take your food as medicine. You will take your food as medicine. You will. Pay attention. What if you need a meal plan? Glory can give you a meal plan. Is it 5,000 naira? Even if you want it for free, I'm sure she'll give it to you. So it's not even about the money, but it's about the intention that, you know what, I want to be different in 2026. I don't want to talk about exercise because the shortest presentation on exercise is that if you're not moving, you're dying. We were meant to move. And that is why a kid growing and looking good is running all over the place. And someone who is dead, less stiff in one place. So the closer you get to just being in one place, that is how somebody too is going. So no matter how hard, I know like my parents with their age and everything, I remember they escaped death, because they were so sick at some point in their life. before I discovered lifestyle medicine and helped them to be healthier. But I'm so happy when they go on morning walk. Yes, it may not last for even 15 minutes, but they're so proud of themselves that they went for a morning walk together. So, because they know, because I put it in their head, if you don't walk, you're going. So they stand up and walk. Okay. So you can do your detox. Detox can be done professionally, or you can do it at home. So, in conclusion, um, the true cost of health, this was the aim, the objective of this presentation was to have you understand what is the true cost of health. So, this is a conclusion. The true cost of health goes far beyond direct medical cost, which is the one you know. Okay. It goes far beyond direct medical cost, which is wrongly assumed to be the true cost of health. Secondly, it says the true cost of health is the totality of intangible, indirect, and the direct cost of health. The recommendation from us in Dr. Physique or Dr. Susan is that when you invest, is that you should, but when you invest on preventive and proactive medicine, you stand to save more and gain more outcome in health. So to answer the question directly, is prevention truly cheaper than treatment? Well, I want to leave you like this. The answer is that it is just a matter of choice. That's the answer. That because if you want to look at it like this, you can come up with a lot of things, but it's a matter of choice. The choice is yours. But even with that choice, I want you to have it at the back of your mind that in some cases, you may run into a situation where prevention at that moment or for that day was not cheaper than the treatment you can pay, but just know that it is better, better than treatment or better than going for cure. So that's what I have. I just wanted us to, pick topics here and there and just play with the topics. And I will take your question. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, thank you, Doctor. Wonderful lecture. Thank you, ma. Hello, ma.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, ma. Let me let me come here. I have seen the indirect and the direct, tangible and the tangible. I don't know how to differentiate them so much because each of them, even the indirect, has a direct impact on your life. I mean, the things that are indirect, they have
Yes,
direct impact on your life. Direct, no matter the way you want to look at it. And
truly.
then even the intangible, for example, the pain is intangible to you watching the person. The person has a
Oh,
tangible pain there. Inside him, the pain is there, which is feeling. So that intangible is you that look watching at him. You're not seeing the pain, but himself is going
exactly.
through pain and is feeling it.
Yes.
So maybe for lecture purposes, I look at them because all of them are direct impact on your body, on everything. They have direct impact. There's no way to touch them.
So, sir,
The
you're
only
saying that
thing
all of them are direct cost.
is possible, direct cost. Because there's no way.
It's,
And we're talking
it's
about
okay.
cost and prevention. There's
Yes.
no way we can look at compare them. Prevention is cheaper. Cost is more expensive because you can prevent by lifestyle change, normal food you are eating, instead of eating this, you eat this, which is we're still eating. Uh, but when they carry you to hospital for emergency, all that, the whole money you spent in the prevention for 3 years can be used for 1 day in
Yes, sir.
treatment. And once so
That's
and
true.
that treatment is not automatic. It doesn't mean you're going to be healed. It doesn't mean that you're going to come through out of it. Because you have that treatment created a lot of problem because there's no prevention method in your life.
Yes, sir.
You have created more
I think
problem that is treating you. So it's always difficult and more expensive to manage treatment. So my advice is that prevent it. It's cheaper. That's my principle.
sir, thank you so
Doctor,
so much. We always value your contribution. Thank you. Okay.
Hello,
Yes, dear. Please go
hello.
on. Yes, hi.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I am undergoing a beautiful treatment at your place, and I want to say thank you so much for what you people are doing. When I did the
Oh,
comprehension, I never knew of certain things that were lacking. I never knew that you could actually detect what is wrong or what could not be wrong. But at the end of the day, for the past 1 month plus, if I tell you that craving now to swallow is almost gone.
it's cool.
If I tell you how disciplined, the very first thing which you have done, which you people do with so much subtlety, is to treat the mind first.
Yes,
Mentality
sir.
is key. Choice and decision is key. Then at the end of the day, one thing that runs through your space is the place of God. When God is at the center of everything, and you can call it a God center place, and
Good.
wonderful, amazing human beings that have been there from the gate, the doctors, the nurses, the professionalism. In fact, it's just a remaining one of my kids who will be coming there. At least the whole
Oh,
family. Yeah, and
so
it's
thank you.
amazing. I'm not saying this because anybody who is here and you have not touched that base, you are cheating yourself. I'm telling you
Oh,
the truth.
sir,
That's
thank you so much. Thank you
a
so,
great
so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I want to thank you because um when I come to this platform, the objective from day one has been for me, what can these people be doing at home? Like you said, treating the mind. Because once you've treated the mind, you've treated the body. I'm sorry, renowned pastors, they use this also. Once you've treated the mind, you've treated the body. And I also thank God, thank you for recognizing the fact that, God is at the center of all that we do. We are very, very much aware of that. Now, I want to share something with all of you, and that is on craving. Nobody asked me. The reason why craving swallow, craving anything disappears when you start the program is because once we put in the nutrition, your body's looking for magnesium, is looking for potassium, it's looking for something. The only way it will force you to put that thing inside the body is by activating craving, hoping that maybe the person will stop swallowing and maybe eat unripe plantain with ugu leaf or something else because the body's looking for something. It's just like when the body's thirsty, it will dry up your throat. If you don't give it water, it will give you a headache. So it means that by the time you feel thirsty, you've already done enough damage in your body before it will send a signal to the brain to dry up your throat so that you can put water. And if you now don't put water, you put anything outside of water, it can now escalate to headache or weakness and stuff like that. So I just want to throw the light that when you have adequate nutrition, craving for everything, not just swallow, in general, decreases and even stops. So thank you for bringing that up. And thank you so much for the wonderful testimony. And God bless you, sir. Thank you. All right. So I'll take the next question and then I will address something. It says, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So what I wanted to talk about, is there any other question? Because there's an announcement. Okay, I want to
And
assume
sorry,
no. Oh yes, go ahead, please. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Oh, someone was talking and stopped, but that's okay. Okay,
sorry.
there's an
Okay.
announcement. I want to quickly acknowledge the fact that um you okay, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead with your question. Your phone is muted. Okay.
Okay.
I,
To see my agents.
go ahead. Okay. I don't understand what is going on. Um, okay,
Continue,
I can
continue.
continue. Okay, I will continue.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make an announcement, and that is that I want to, first of all, really appreciate all of you for supporting me to be here because without your love and encouragement, I cannot be here today. So thank you so much for making me live out even my own passion. I can't do it without you. I also want to add that last week I just made a simple announcement that please people should drop topics that they would love to see on the platform because this is not about me, it's about you. It's your wellness is my priority. So I was so shocked to see that we have over 40 something questions that people want to answer, and I'm so excited for it. So this is what I will do. So what so that nobody's left out, our lectures, we will just try to shrink it maybe to 38 minutes or thereabouts. I'll not do 45 minutes because usually in my head it's 45 minutes, but some explanation stories will take us to 9. Like it's 9 now. So what we will do is that we will take the direct questions, we'll take one or two, at most three every week, in addition to the existing lectures. And then some of them that can become a lecture, we will now do a whole lecture. So I want to let you know that there's not one question on that platform that will not be answered. And two, if you have more questions, more topic suggestions, please keep adding because since we are going to be taking 2 to 3 per class just talk a bit around it on top of the lecture and then maybe take some for outright lectures. So that is how we have decided to handle those. So thank you so much. Okay. On the
Continue,
platform,
continue,
yes, sir.
continue. Um, is it possible, this series of lectures, one of the lectures time is the explanation of the questions they ask you. Let's assume that this Wednesday, before Wednesday is announced, that what I'm going to have today's lecture is just answer to questions people have sent for a whole 1 hour. It's question time, maybe
It will
once
be,
in a week,
it will,
maybe once in a month.
I think that is even what is on our schedule. That once a week, we will actually just leave a day for you. So that is even originally on the schedule. So yes, I think if that is the case, then we can now use that slot to be answering the questions that people will be dropping on the platform. But then again, there are some really good topics there that deserve an entire lecture hour, like one thing. So we will still do that. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Okay, so there's a question on the platform. It says, sorry, the lecture is officially done. I'm just It's just a question and answer time. It's never a waste of time to wait to hear because you can still pick something, even if it's not for you, but for people you know and love. So this question says, what are the best ways to manage pain in the shoulder to my limbs? usually by midnight, like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah. What options of treatment do I have? And I'm based in Lagos. Okay. There's so many treatment options. In the clinic, there's something we have called surgeon bed. You can lay on the surgeon bed, and any physiotherapist can use like shock waves, or you can also use like a red light therapy, heat therapy, etc. Definitely, oxyvite therapy can help you because it's a systemic anti-inflammatory and it goes to where something is wrong in the body and it will get rid of it. So I think rather than just answering blindly, since you're in Lagos, if you can stop in for just a physical examination, or if you give me a little bit more, you can send me if you've done a scan or anything, please can you reach out to me personally. There's Chinese medicine that can do acupuncture and instantly remove the pain. All those exist. So I don't mention things that we only do in our clinic, but options. So there's heat therapy, etc. What is your weight? What is your age? What is your sleeping position? A lot of things, and especially that is consistent at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., that's a little bit off. So we should talk, please. Thank you. It says, I am having a wonderful time with you guys. And to be candid, I have learned so much, actually understand the preventive medicine. Thank you for the slippers and the nail illustration. Thank you for knowing that at the end of you healing is from the most high God. Thank you so much, Doctor. Wonderful team. Thank you. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Okay, it says, can't we have discount for service you're injured? Yes, you can. Thank you for safe place. Many thanks. Many thanks. Okay. All right. So we have to close. It's 10 minutes past the time because of questions and answers. Um, I will do better to keep it shorter next week. That's a promise. And thank you so much, and God bless all of you. And don't forget, I pray for you always.